and Sia Stone. Now, intro and bio. We'll have pop-ups, phone call and tablet. Some of the more serious issues that are facing women today.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Two. We'll mention some protests. Remember to keep. Hello and welcome to LOTv's Let's Talk, the Round Table. I'm your host Anima McBrown, and this is a show that's going to bring to you topical issues, discursive issues, real issues around the table with, as you can see, a diverse group of young people. Okay, what's on the table today? Women's Month. What is it? What does it mean? These three young people are going to let us know some of the issues affecting women in 2015. Guys, welcome. How are you feeling? Good. Good.
Really
This afternoon. Okay, first of all, quick introductions. Over here we have Lelo Mateke. Please say hi to the camera. We have Simtanda Stone. And Tumelo Tulinyane. Guys, thank you for being here and welcome once again. We're going to jump straight into it. Lelo, tell us, what are some of the more serious issues facing women today?
Topically, it is the issues of abuse,
Okay.
issues of rape. But I think what I've discovered in the women that I surround myself with is women not being conscious of each other and of themselves, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean, for example, a woman gets into a relationship with another guy, some cheaterization is involved, and she is not dealing with the infidelity or the man, but she's dealing with the woman with whom the man committed the infidelity with. I see it a lot when we see women who behave and handle one another as though they are in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
And for me that hurts me because I grew up with women, like women only, right? So it hurts me to see women who don't respect one another, who are not cognizant of each other and each other's conditions. And I think besides the threats that already exist, like the abuse, like the misogyny, the patriarchal system in which we live, women who are not conscious of each other and do not care about one another, that is, for me, the biggest threat.
Okay, now Sia, we are in this university bubble. Whichever bubble it is, it could be UCT, Cape Town, or Johannesburg, but this is a very protected space. Now, what is the difference between the issues that we as women face in this little bubble and the issues that women face in society in general? Is there a difference, or is it just a case of them being bigger and more serious in the real world?
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a difference, really. I think it's either that you're protected and you're safe here, so it's like, okay, it's not as hectic as it is when you get out in the real world, because I'm here, and the issues that I face here, such as abuse, if I'm in Joburg and I'm walking on the streets, like, I'm scared because I'm just like, some guy's gonna come jump up on me, and then if it happens, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, yeah, no, I think it's just just different environments, same shit, different smell.
Okay. Now, Dumelo, we've touched on the issue of women not caring, and this being something that you can experience whether it's in your bubble or anywhere other, in any other place in society. Now, for you, what are some of the issues you've seen with your own eyes women go through, whether you had a part to play in it or just a neutral observer? What are some of those?
For me, the one thing that I've experienced and seen is actually going through abuse and violence mostly. That's what I've been exposed to personally, what I've actually seen. And I think it's something which is pervasive, it's across the entire world. And the one thing that I see us as men is that we continually apologize for these violences, but another thing is that this is continually accepted. Nothing has been done about it basically. So as much as all of this is happening and people are apologizing and it is accepted, there's still a lot of ignorance around the issue itself. And I think that it's for women to actually, as it goes around the world, to actually release their potential in terms of what they can possibly do and be as people in this world, then educate people on those issues and combat them in some tangible way.
Okay. Now, that being said, brilliant point, because this brings us to the silent protest. Now, for you watching, the silent protest is an event which happens here at Rhodes every single year in the month of August, where the Rhodes community gets together and protests against the violent acts and the abuses that women and children and some of our homosexual friends have to deal with on an everyday basis. Now, back to you guys. The silent protest, events like that, do they make a difference? Should we be having them? Is there a change that comes about once we've all gone together and gotten angry and spoken about some of these issues? Dumelo?
I think they do actually make a difference. I believe that it is a way of building societies, rebuilding societies more violent to a certain extent, I'd say.
Okay.
The silent protest is in its 9th year this year, having grown from 80 participants first to 1,700 last year. And I think it's really making a huge impact in our lives in terms of making men and women as well conscious of these issues that women and men are exposed to on a daily basis, but also raising their level of consciousness with regards to the seriousness of sexual violence within our nation and our society.
Okay.
So I do definitely think that it helps a lot.
Okay, so you want to jump in?
It does, because you are conscious about what's happening and like how these people are being treated and all that stuff. But I think what needs to happen is the way in which our parents raise their children. Because if it doesn't happen at home, then what do you think is going to happen out there? Because you're exposed to all this rubbish that the media is just throwing at us. Do you know what I mean? When your parents tell you, you treat a woman like this, you do this, you do that, then at least you kind of like have an idea. But also, if you grew up in an environment and it wasn't great, your mom was abused or your dad was abused, or you didn't have your mom or dad around, so you're not too sure, how do I do this? Do I treat a woman like this?
Yeah.
That needs to happen. You need to start at home, and then you read great when you come out.
Okay, Lelo, now what do you make of the neglect of men in such events? So the focus is very strongly on women, what they go through, but we have to be honest and admit that men go through the very same thing silently. What do we do about that?
I really don't have the answer as to what we do about it, but I think as much as we are creating and giving platforms to abusers to speak out and to speak about their experiences, I think men should step up to the plate as well. I think it's a little bit more difficult for men because there is a stigma to an abused man.
Okay.
Right? So, and it's not only a social stigma, but these are stigmas that we come from home. To be a man is to be A, B, and C. In the workplace, to be a man is to be A, B, and C. Even in our academic environment, I mean, I've interacted with males who get mad when their female counterparts beat them, kind of thing. I think what we need to address when we do engage male-oriented abuse is the condition of a man's ego.
Okay.
It's a very fragile thing, and I feel as though people take it for granted that this automatically means strength in here and in here, and it does not translate. So if we are going to have platforms which relay the experiences of men,
Yeah.
then we have to, it cannot be in the same language as that when we speak about women abuse, because men and women are different in that way. Our stigmas are different, the way we are set up in terms of our social constructions are different. So we need to have a different kind of language when we do speak about these things. But I definitely do think men, we need to step up to the plate and be honest about our conditions.
Now I love that, stepping up to the plate, the issue of slacking. It has been said that the ball gets dropped by men, and the focus here is on men. I'll ask you before I move to Sia, what is the bloody ball?
Again, I'll go back to consciousness.
Okay.
Men are not, I think we're all just not conscious of each other.
Okay.
But in relation to your question, or to answer your question, I think men drop the ball in seeing, particularly, now I'm going to speak in relation to women and women abuse.
Okay.
I think men, we're used to seeing women abused. And it's sort of becoming like, not to say that this is the way it should be, but this is something that we're used to. And when you see a woman sort of take ownership of her power, I know a lot of females who've decided, you know what, I'm not a victim of this, and I'm going to rise above this. It surprises me. And I've had interactions and conversations with men who are like, wow, she really overcame that. and I'm just like, why does it seem like it threatens you?
Yeah.
So I think men drop the ball in terms of not being cognizant of the way they think of abused women in relation to how they have the ability to overcome the things that happen to them as women in relation to abuse.
Okay.
I also think that men are not conscious of themselves in relation to how they also perpetuate these abuses or these abusive attitudes or these attitudes.
Okay.
The things they say, when I mean, I can't believe in 2015 you're still debating that a no is a no.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
There shouldn't be in a negotiation.
It shouldn't be.
Stated fact, no, it is. Right?
It really shouldn't be. And how men are just not willing to step up to the plate when they are wrong.
Okay.
To say that I offended a woman or I abused a woman or I hurt you in A, B, and C ways. How can I make it right? How can we fix this? How can we rewire, the way we interact as human beings? So it's a consciousness thing.
Now, Sia, if women are going to play a part in helping men elevate themselves, how do we get them to account for their thoughts and their behaviors? Because they can claim, but I didn't know, I'm not used to seeing this, so please help me, teach me. How do we even begin to teach men about men?
For me, I'm just like, if you're gonna treat someone badly, you must know that you must be fine with them treating you badly as well.
Okay.
We need to, as women, we are very strong people. As human beings, we are very, very powerful, very strong, and we need to understand this. Okay. Now, when dealing with a man, you need, as Deva said, there needs to be some sort of like stroking of an ego. I mean, it might not be nice, for women to say, but you need to stroke a man's ego. Sometimes when they're weak, you can't go to their boy and be like, hey yo, but you can feel when a man is feeling down, a man is feeling like, not today. You must try and lift them up. The problem that we have is that, oh, I'm a woman, I'm an independent woman, this is me first. Nah, fam, it's us together first. It's us together first. We need to stop this whining and crying. No, but you did this. A man is a working man. He's a working man. And this girl is hungry, okay? She calls a man and she's like, baby, dilambi, I'm hungry. No, baby, I'm gonna come back. When I'm done, I'll get you some food. Drops the phone, starts getting attitude. Then now she's sulking. Like, what is this? Your man is working. Do you not want to have a working man in your life so that he can support you and your family? Do we not cry about those things? And then when it happens, you wanna cry some more because why me first? We cannot be brats, guys. We can't be brats. This is the problem. We out here being brats. We are not supporting our men. These men, there's so many of them. They're so strong. They need to know. They really need to know that they are strong men. They are strong men.
We've got them.
We do. They are right here. We have strong men right here.
Right here.
Okay. You guys honestly need to know. You can't know. If a girl is gonna put you down, Charles, just put them to the side.
Know your worth,
Era.
know your worth, young
Delete.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
man.
on that point, I'm glad you raised that because I can see you're very passionate about that topic.
Yes.
Now you tell us, lady of the table, how responsible are women for their own issues? Because we are quick to point fingers, we're quick to blame, to call mom, to call best friend, to call that aunt. You know that aunt, we'll have the aunt like Medea who's going to tell you straight. But what part do we play in our own suffering and in our own plight?
We play such a huge role. Why? Because the only person who's playing woman is me. I am the woman here. I am in my body. I am responsible for this body and for what it's doing and what is gonna happen. Like I can't be like, no, it was his fault. No, I'm pointing at him because they did this. No, she did that. So no, girl.
So it starts with you, hey?
Yes. Stop, wait, reflect before you react. You like to react. You need to respond. You need to reflect, see what it is. Where did you go wrong? How did you go wrong? Why did you go wrong? Understand yourself a little more. That's the thing. Be so quick to be like, yo, man, nah. You know what that looks like? You look like a brat. You look like a brat. You look like a ghetto chick out here trying. Like, no. If you're gonna call yourself a woman, act like a woman.
Strong words. Lelo, anything to add?
I think people are responsible for themselves to a certain extent, because we do live in a world where people take advantage of other people. But it also, you gotta think about yourself in an intelligent way, né? So you have to, when you're making decisions as to who you want to be with, for example, romantically, the people you call friends or people you confide in, how you carry yourself in your line of excellence, for example, you need to be intelligent as to how you represent yourself and who you are when you look in the mirror, right? But that I think there's a lot of control in owning who you are. And not to say that deters people from not taking advantage of you, but I think a large part of victim mentality comes from the lack of owning yourself. And you can see it in survivors who have taken initiative to move on. They own themselves. They own who they are and they own what happened. And I think another part of owning who you are is that it empowers others. It's like the sun, really. It just shines, right? You have an influence. You have the ability to change someone else's life, not because you're great or whatever, but just because you've transcended yourself. You know, you've moved beyond what people think you are, who you thought you were. You're being better, right? So I think self-ownership is a large part when we're talking about women who are responsible for themselves, but people in general who are responsible for themselves, particularly survivors of abuse.
Okay, now as we bring this one to a close, guys, I'm going to ask you to offer one thing that this Women's Month, we're in the month of August, Women's Day is coming up on the 9th. What would you like people to take away? What's the one investment that they should have during this time? Do you know?
I think for me the most important thing is, one thing they should remember is that 9th of August 1956, the relevance of that particular date and that the role that women have played in shaping South Africa and what it is today.
Tell some of the people watching who don't know what that date means.
Well, that's the day that 20,000 black women marched to the Union buildings in Pretoria to actually protest against the past laws that were in existence then, basically to sort of control the movement of black people within the country. So they were all against that because now these laws were being passed on to women. Initially it was men, and now it was required that women actually also sort of be regulated by these particular laws, and these women stood up against these particular laws. And in doing so they shaped a part of the history of this particular country today.
Okay.
Yeah, and most importantly, respect women.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think another an investment I think people should make is that an investment in nurturing the spirit of oneness amongst one another. One of my favorite artists, Damien Marley, says that creation is a package, and if we generate it together, we will increase the wattage.
Yeah.
And through that, I think we can transcend a lot of the things that we face today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Sia, your one investment for people this month?
We need to understand this month is Women's Month, yes. But yes, it is a month, but let's not just make it a month, man. There must be a woman every day.
Yeah.
Every day. But not just women. Not just women.
Not just women, not just women.
It must be human beings.
Yeah.
Because we all come out of a woman.
Yeah.
Okay? We are women. Men.
Woman.
Yes, please. That is what we need to take out of this day. It's a lovely day. It's beautiful.
Okay.
So is every other day.
Leno?
I think history is very important, as Doreen has highlighted.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that I would want people to take away from this particular day, this particular month, might come across as a little bit radical, but
okay, let's go. We're ready. We're ready.
I'm gonna bring it. Is for us as a collective to walk in our own individual directions and to find out who we are and what we are in relation to women, so that we can come back and tell our individual stories to form one narrative. And that particular narrative is going to be the new narrative that the new or the democratic South Africa tells. I think there's value in individualizing stories and situations. I think there's value in going on your own initiative and finding out, where's my pain, or why did his or her story touch me so much? And then coming back with your friends, your family, in a community, and sharing those stories.
Yeah.
Because when you come back and everyone shares what they've gone out and reflected on, it reveals a new consciousness.
Growth begins.
Exactly.
How beautiful.
And I think adding to that, one other important thing is that as people, what we do best is emulate others when we see the good that is actually within them.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things is that we should cultivate a sense of humanity in all our beings, basically, incessantly, until the day that we see the changes we want to see in this world, and hope and believe that others will definitely emulate us in making our society a better place.
Wow. Guys, we're not a lost cause.
No.
Hey? When I sit here with you, I'm like, actually, there's hope. There's a future.
There is always hope, guys. It's never too late. We are such amazing human beings. We can do this. What? It's never too late.
Never too late.
Never, ever.
And even for you watching, it starts here in your kitchen, in your living room. Talk about it. Think about it. Start acting on some of those thoughts. It's the only way we're going to see a difference. This has been LOTv's Let's Talk, the round table. To my guests, thank you. My very first trio, I'm very honored. And I hope that going on from here, even your own actions will reflect some of these issues, and you'll carry this discussion with you in the way that you treat women, but that you treat yourself and your fellow humanity. Okay, your girl Anima McBrown signs out, and catch us in episode 2. Guys, remember, please, the thing is, you have to dare to think, you have to have the courage to feel, and please don't stop striving to be. Out.